Hi, in this video, we're going to talk about this earth-shattering, life-changing solar eclipse, and people are minimizing what's really going on. Every single planet is involved with this solar eclipse, which will happen March 29th and Eastern Time. So let's show you and dive in. I will be sharing the screen. I am Ev Zervudakis, founder of Holistic Healing Astrology. Let's get with it. So before we start, get your natal chart out, and that way you'll be able to find the degrees and signs and planets that will be hovering over your natal chart. And if they are impacting one of your planets in your natal chart, that means that every single planet in the sky will impact your natal chart. And if, let's say, it's impacting Aries, those of you born in the beginning of Aries right now, and have birthdays now, you may be impacting your natal sun. So if your natal sun, which has to do with self, your desires, your wants, and your vitality have aspects, these are aspects, these lines, they're just connections to other planets in your natal chart, whoa, then that means that all these planets here, notice there is a connection to every single planet in the sky on March 29th at 6:30 in the morning. But this is going to last and set the stage for the next 6 months and beyond. And why is it important? We're going to go into that. But the point that I'm stressing is if any one of these planets, any one of them, and I'm going to move this out of the way so I could really concentrate. So if any one of these planets here, notice they're all connected, make any contact with your natal chart, and your natal, and that planet in your natal chart has other connections, the more connections that you have in that particular planet that's going to be impacting this configuration, the stronger it's going to be. The other thing that's going to make it more intense is the exactitude of the impact. In other words, if you have anything in exactly 3 degrees of Aquarius or a fixed sign, or 24 degrees in a water or mutable sign, 27 degrees in a water or mutable sign, 28 degrees in a water or mutable sign, 29 degrees in a water or mutable sign, 0 degrees in a fire or cardinal sign, 8 degrees in a cardinal or fire sign, and 8 degrees in a cardinal or fire sign, because this by definition here is the new moon, and because it's close to the north and south node axis, it is an eclipse by definition. And also 22 degrees of a fire or cardinal sign. It also will impact anything in 24 degrees of a fixed or earth sign, 15 degrees of a air and mutable sign, 22 degrees of a cardinal and water sign, and 27 degrees of an earth and water sign, okay? And then again, 22 degrees of a cardinal and air sign. So that's the picture. And if you have any questions and you're not sure what I'm talking about, put them in the comments and I'll either create a video to teach you, but this is really big. That I've never seen stuff like this before. And it's impacting my natal chart. But you know what? It is life-changing, but in a positive sense. So for those of you that are wondering, is this going to be bad or good? It all depends on you. Astrology, there is no bad and good. There is your free will to make it bad or good. How are you going to use these energies? That's what's important. So let's dive in. Let's break this down. So we have 8 degrees Aries, all right? And the sun and the moon are in 8 degrees Aries, all right? There are Quinta Chile, which is a special relationship with Black Moon Lilith in relationships. So we are all able to transform these dark energies from the past in relationships, negative emotions. It could be anything that is hidden or goes into the savage feminine side. Black Moon Lilith is associated with superpowers, feminine superpowers, super strength, empowerment. But on the negative side, it could also be abuse, human trafficking, and prostitution, that nasty stuff. And it has to do with relationships. So if you've had toxic relationships in the past, there will be an urgency for you to get rid of them. But now's the time. New moons are all about setting intentions. Set the intention to heal. Because we have Chiron over here, the teacher and the healer. Okay? Take that as self-healing. And it's 100% opposite Black Moon Lilith. All right? So, back to the new moon. You're setting the intentions, but because all these double stelliums here associated with this solar eclipse, let's break it down. What's associated with this eclipse? All this lineup of planets. We have Mercury retrograde, 0 degrees Aries. Well, 0 degrees in Aries is called the Aries Point, which means you're on stage. Everybody's watching you. So be ready. You have a command performance now to do. Isn't that cool? And it's kind of weird because Mercury's retrograde, which means you don't really take the action. So it's an introspective type of Aries point. So you're going to be on stage. So it might be getting ready to put yourself on stage or be more subdued. In other words, review and reconsider before you go on that stage. Dot your I's, cross your T's, because Mercury's retrograde, all right? Doesn't mean you don't do anything. It just means double check. Also, together with this new moon solar eclipse is this critical degree, 29 degrees of Neptune in Pisces. So we've all been delusional, in chaos, confused, not being able to decipher the truth from non-reality. It's also spiritual fiction, fairy tales, and it's spiritual, and it's the invisible world. And it's also conjunct with, together with the forces of love in a retrograde. So whatever your purpose is for love, all right, if there's any confusion, straighten it out. How do you straighten it out? How do you get certainty beyond logic? Now's your chance. You journal it and you put it in self. You put it in your journal of I intend. in present tense, do your affirmations, and get real clear on the spiritual type of relationship that you want. Your soulmate. This is very deep. Water sign. And it's also about isolation, seclusion, and maybe you just need to be alone. Doing this journaling activity and meditation is an activity of doing this alone. Okay? So it's your responsibility to achieve this spirituality and this unlimited potential. This is really powerful. And then all these blue triangles, blue lines here, all this energy here, love, money, your purpose, right? And even your responsibility, your duty, your discipline, your lessons, and your communication is all flowing to Mars, where you're going to take action with your family, how you nurture your protectiveness. It's a warrior type energy. It's great assertion for nurturing and caring, right? Also, we have the letting go of criticism, letting go of what doesn't serve you, and having faith in your creator. That's what this is all about. And what's really cool, and I'm going to do another video on Neptune, Pluto, Uranus. It's a grand sextile. These are sextiles here. 1, 2, it's 60 degrees apart from one another. Pluto has to do with transformation, with technology. Everybody's using AI tools. If you're not, you're behind the curve. The whole world is embracing it, and make it work for you. Also, because it's opportunities for your spirituality, but Pluto, Neptune, and it's the invisible world. It's your angels. It's the spirit guides on the other side, your loved uh your loved ones that have crossed over, okay? And also inspiration, awakening, your visions, all right? Because it's going into Gemini, which is all very fast signs. This is going into Aries at the end of the month, Neptune, and Uranus is going into Gemini, air, and Pluto is in air. And so this Pluto-Neptune sextile is going to last for about 20 years. And then this Uranus-Neptune-Pluto grand sextile will last about 10 years. So this is big. But this solar eclipse and these intentions is what you could trigger and make this very powerful, massive transformation. But Pluto is also about loss, but it's things that you needed to let go of anyhow. So if you don't let go of it on your own, well, you need to transform so it will happen, okay? What's very interesting too is we have a mystical rectangle here on many fronts with Mars, with the south node, Pluto, and all these planets here, north node, Venus, Neptune, and Mercury. Mercury is communication. So I have a feeling that we're all going to have the ability to communicate through mental telepathy, head tapping, like what I do. Our psychic abilities have been launched. Everyone has the ability now. And I just put out a YouTube video about developing your psychic abilities, I even included a little test and ways to improve your psychic abilities. So these cycles don't happen the way that this is lined up often. I don't even know when the last time that all this has happened. I know the Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus cycle, I think, if my research is correct, with all the astrologers that I follow that do this kind of research, it goes back to the time of 520 something BCE, during the ancient Greek time of the astrologers and astronomers, scientists, philosophers, mathematicians of that time, the golden age. So we're in for another one. Embrace it and look on your chart and see how it's going to impact you. And let me go through my notes and make sure that you all understand, and I haven't skipped anything because I haven't looked at my notes. So I want to make sure that we are ready for what's going to happen. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Please share this video with anyone that you may know. But don't forget that the world, if you haven't noticed, there's so much dark information coming out. This is the Black Moon Lilith. So I'll give you an example of what I've experienced and what's out there. News, and that's whether you're on TikTok, social media, and even YouTube and the cable networks. They have released the 80,000 pages of the JFK assassination and those files. Well, a lot of not so nice stuff came out. That's the Black Moon Lilith, and it's all about JFK and his relationships. And it just flows right into Jupiter, which has to do in Gemini, which has to do with a balloon getting bigger, 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 bigger. Have you seen how big Jupiter is? It's the biggest planet out there in the solar system, and it has to do with exchange, communication, right? Information. So it's a lot of information, but look, it's a sesquiquadrant, or a type of a square, which means we all have to do something. And it's not the most comfortable thing. It has to do with Pluto. So guess what? It transforms everything. It transforms our community, our whole country, what we thought about this president that we love so dearly. I remember the day that JFK got shot. I was in a shopping store. I was a little kid, and I'm not going to tell you how old I was. Number one, I'm not quite sure, but it was a long time ago. And all this crud is coming out now. So we're all a little disillusioned with this Neptune Pisces, and this sudden awakening and sudden vision of, oh my goodness, what's happening? And it shakes up the family and how we care about what's going on. It's very interesting. So please share with me your insights, how it's impacting you. But you can't make this stuff up. But just this here alone, all these planets, and imagine people having babies now with this configuration. Very powerful children are being born right now. Very powerful. Very unique individuals. And but the world is a good place, and it will always be better and better. That's just the way it is. So are you going to look at all the negativity out there and focus on that? Or are you going to embrace what comes your way and control your reactions? I'm just amazed. I'm just amazed. I never thought that it was going to be this revealing and this intense. But whenever you have Pluto, Mars, Saturn, and Uranus all together, that's intense as it is. But to have Jupiter in the mix just makes it even bigger. Bigger, bigger, bigger. So it's not funny, but it is funny. So if you have any questions, again, we have a solar eclipse. So you Aries people or anyone that has any of these degrees in their natal chart, let me know what you're feeling. Let me know how you're getting through this. But please, write your journaling intentions. I don't care where you do it. If you don't have a journal, you could always buy one of mine on my website. Isn't this pretty? And I give you prompts, 11 prompts, so you could be guided by God. This is perfect time to get this. It's a beautiful journal, and let me know how that works. I'll talk to you later. All my love. We'll stop the share. Take care. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the month.